Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for coming along. It's yoga session 171 with me. And I was away last week. I had a lovely trip away in my camper van, and I went to lots of different countries in Europe. They're all pretty close, right? All those ones that kind of go like that, from France and Belgium and Holland and Germany and down into Luxembourg. And we did a big loop back. So I hope you were well looked after by Carolina. I'm sure you were. She's an amazing teacher. And we're really lucky to have her to cover my classes when I'm away. But I'm back now. So if you join in, a wholehearted welcome. Shout out on the chat. Always happy to see people's comments. And you can even put something in there if you go, can we do this today? Yeah, you can always suggest, and kind of these classes are quite fluid. And I never have a grand plan, just kind of see how we all feel. Which is a little bit difficult through this medium, right? But I'm going to sense you all up and down the country, and hopefully I'll get it right for some of you, right? It's not going to work for everyone, never does it, right? So yeah, join the chat. Just to let you guys know as well, the Royal Voluntary Service Virtual Village Hall, it was launched on Facebook, and that's kind of where it's been kind of grounded in Facebook for the 4 years that it's been running now. Is it 4 years or something like that? 3.5? I can't remember exactly. I know I've been teaching for 3.5 years, so yeah, I think it's about 4 years. But just to let you know, if anyone uses the other social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok, then the Virtual Village Hall is now launched on those sites. So give them a follow, because it makes a massive difference if you're on social media and it's beyond Facebook. TikTok, it's what the kids use, right? And Instagram. I use Instagram for our Space to Breathe yoga, and it's a great medium as long as you're not on it too much. But give these guys a follow, Virtual Village Hall, and they will be happy to have your follow. And there's some amazing content which is going on there at the moment. Shorter videos and little tips. I'm going to be doing some stuff on there as well. Just lots of different things that we can talk about in yoga in like a minute, and not 45 minutes like we've got now. So yeah, that's all I was going to say about that. Hi to you, Margaret. Always beautiful in Northumberland, right? I'm looking forward to going up there again. I think we go next month. My wife does this nature therapy with a group up there near Hexham, and I always enjoy going up with her, and we spend time in the woods and have a good chat around a fire, and we have nice food, and we make soup, and it's a nice time of year. I like autumn up in Northumberland. And hello to you, Alan. Alan from Leicester, who I've known for a long time, but we've never met face to face. But Alan's been doing my classes for years. So yes, here we go again, mate. We're off again. And yeah, thank you to all of you guys. All right, I'm going to go back there. Make yourself comfortable. We're going to start seated, but remember, if you want to do that in a chair, do it in a chair. If you want to do it with your back against the wall, do it with your back against the wall. I'm going to slide back here, and I'm going to come in a cross-legged position. I'm just thinking, do I want a blanket or not? I don't think so. I don't think so. But what I am going to do, I've just had a look to my side. I'm going to grab a little bolster. We've got these flat bolsters. These ones are quite nice. Not like too big to sit on. So I'll just encourage you to find something that feels reasonable, right? This one's really dusty. The spiders have been busy this summer, right? Finding cobwebs and spiders' webs everywhere. So you can see, look, I can relax down now. It's not like I'm super flexible and my hips are open, because they ain't. But now I can kind of just perch myself on here, and automatically my spine will lengthen. So find a comfortable seat. That's all I'm saying. And draw some length into your spine. Try not to make this too rigid. You don't want to sit like this and, but you want to bring enough kind of length into your spine. So you've got lots of room to breathe into, but don't sort of tense up. Try and keep it relatively relaxed, okay? And then think about your shoulders. Think about how your fingers and your hands land, and relax your shoulders and relax your fingertips. Now, if it feels okay, you might draw your eyes closed, or just soften the gaze. Your choice. And notice what's present. At this moment here, we just begin to notice what you've brought onto your mat. You, sure, but How do you feel? This is the perfect pause in your day. 2:30 in the afternoon. This gives us an opportunity to just check inside and go a little deeper and find that stillness with our breath and notice what we're noticing. Nice and simple stuff. And maybe, as normal, scan your body and notice how your physical body feels. Yeah, what does your physical body feel like? Is there any areas that you really want to direct your breath down into? But thinking about your breath, make sure your breath just feels kind of long and smooth and even, but not forced. It's kind of just a rhythm in and out through the nose if it's available, but don't obsess about this stuff. And just reflect. This could be the first time today that you've given yourself just this time to reflect and to be still and just to notice. This is the true practice of yoga, right? When we go on this inward journey of just pausing. Sometimes our lives can get a little crazy and things can get away from us. From here, we're just going to move very gently. So when you're ready, take an inhale, just sweep your arms all the way up into the air. Do that nice and slowly. And then however you're sat, even if you're in a chair, that's cool because you'll be able to do this. Just twist over towards the right. If you sat on something, I'm just going to place my right hand on the back of the bolster and then my left hand on my right thigh. I'm going to inhale, and then as I exhale, I'm just going to twist. But I'm not too worried about, the kind of shape of this. As long as my spine is relatively long, then I kind of just coaxing myself into a shape that feels good. I'm not still, I'm having a little wriggle around and see what this feels like. As we twist, we compress the diaphragm a little bit. So maybe you just need to bring a little bit more intention into your breath. Take one more deep inhale. And then take a full exhale. Just come back to center with the hands nice and relaxed. Realign your spine. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Nice simple movements here. Exhale to the left. And again, just wriggle into a shape that feels good. Notice how your physical body feels. What does it feel like to twist here? You probably want to keep this really gentle. Take one more round of breath. As you exhale, come all the way back to center. Really lovely. And if you sat on something, probably a good opportunity to remove it. If you're sat on a chair, you can stay there if you like. For these next few postures. I'm going to lean back into my hands and just bring my feet out and then just drop your legs to either side. Just kind of free the hips up. We've been there for a good amount of time, right? So the worst thing in the world, I say this a lot, but the worst thing is to kind of feel uncomfortable in the postures. Doesn't mean that all the postures are going to be dreamy and you really love it, each one. But you don't want to feel too uncomfortable. So give yourself freedom to move within the asanas, the physical postures, but also these little movements here can really just feel simple and free. And if you sat on a chair, then soles of the feet on the floor, just bring your legs to either side just a little bit. And then maybe come back to a seated position. Realign the spine. Maybe sitting directly on the floor now if you would join me and you were using a prop. Take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Push the palms up towards the ceiling this time. And then as you exhale, we do this quite a lot. Push the arms forward, the palms forward and round the spine. So you really feel that opening through the upper spine. Inhale as you come all the way back up. So now you're lengthening. Think about your navel, think about your heart. Relax your shoulder blades. As you exhale, round your spine and then tuck your navel in. Nice. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, push the palms forward. Round the back. Inhale, come up. And then this time, exhale, push the palms forward, but then keep breathing here. And then just have a little wriggle around, a little play. You might kind of drop the head down a little bit. Might roll one shoulder, the other shoulder. Inhale, bring the arms all the way back up. And then exhale, really slowly comb the arms down. So you feel every sinew, every muscle, nice and slowly. The arms might come down at different lengths, different timing. Nice. Fingertips just touch the floor. Take a deep inhale. And then here, take a full exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Lovely. Really nice. Bring the hands back onto the knees so the palms face up. And then just begin to move through your head. So you're just going to kind of get into your neck a little bit here. And we'll do this nice and simple. Think about the tip of your nose. And then pick a direction and just begin to draw some circles. This can be done with the eyes closed. You'll probably want to keep your jaw super relaxed. Inhale up, exhale as the chin falls down. We just kind of marvel or revel in these nice, simple movements. This is about connection. This is about connection to yourself. We can spend so much of our lives kind of just missing ourselves. And we kind of get this idea that yoga needs to be this super physical practice that puts most people off. So what we're doing here is we're just introducing some poses that we've done time and time before, and we will continue to do them because they know they serve us so well. You might want to swap this out, but don't rush. Maybe come back the other way. And kind of look out for those really subtle indicators. Maybe it's a subtle indicator of tension or stress, tightness. Remember, we're trying to release tightness. We're trying to free the body. Easier said than done, right? But this is a really great start point. Yoga is a brilliant practice to start releasing the stuff we hold on to. Beyond the physical, right? All right, inhale, bring the head all the way back up. As you exhale, drop your chin all the way down. And then just stretch through the back of the neck. Maybe just rock the chin a little from side to side. Nice. And then bring your head all the way back to center, and then we'll do the same thing again. We'll lean back into the hands, and then you can release the legs. Remember, you can always bring the legs out long and then just give them a little tap out if that feels good. Or I prefer this movement of just side to side. Keep breathing. Stay connected to your practice. Nice. And then we're going to do a little bit of breath work from here. So a little bit of pranayama. So I'll come a little bit closer to your mat. Or to you, and remember you can do all this from a chair again, or if you need some support, feel free to find some support. That's what I was going to say. All right, so we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. But what we're going to do is we're going to do it nice and simple. We're going to inhale through the left, we're going to exhale through the right. I'll say it again, we're going to inhale through the left, we're going to exhale through the right. So you can use a rhythm that matches kind of how you're feeling. You don't probably know until you get into the breath of like what you need sometimes. So I use my right hand and I block off my right nostril with my thumb, inhale through my left. And then you block off the left nostril. I use my little finger, but you can always use your ring finger, exhale through the right. So that's your rhythm. So you inhale left, you exhale right. Okay, now I go quite quickly because what I want to do at this point in the class is I just want to bring my energy up just a little bit. Not a lot. I don't want to kind of get crazy, but I just want to bring my energy up because we're going to do some postures that will require a little bit more energy. But it's up to you. Don't feel like you've got to do that. Move at a rhythm that feels good. Okay, block off the right, inhale left, block off the left, exhale right. You're inhaling left, you're exhaling right. Make sure you're staying nice and relaxed. The spine is long, jaw is relaxed. And then block off the right nostril. Take a deep inhale through the left. Release the right hand down. Exhale through the mouth. And then just pause. So we just take a moment to just check in. What does that feel like? How does it serve you, that breath? Maybe a little hum or a buzz of energy within the body. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go to the other side. Okay. If you need to blow your nose, give your nose a little blow. This is great, right? You know, if you suffer from blocked noses, anything going on with the sinuses, you snore at night. I'm a terrible snorer. I've been married for like 23 years, and I'm sure anyway, I don't need to say anything else, but I tape my mouth up now. I think I might have told you that before. I put a bit of micropore tape across my mouth. My snoring's not there. Anyway, this is really good for the nostrils. So what we're going to do, the other way around. I digress. So we're going to inhale through the right. You're going to exhale through the left. Same kind of movement with the hand. You can always tuck the fingers in, so you can do it this way. In fact, I'm going to do that this time. So I've just got my little finger and my thumb up. I'm going to block off my left. Inhale through your right. Block off the right with the thumb. Exhale through the left. There you go. Then block off the left with the little finger, a little ring finger. Inhale through the right. Bring the hands down, exhale through the mouth. And just pause. And check back in. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, come with your eyes open, and then just lean back into the hands again. And just thinking about that, that's called Nadi Shodhana. It's alternate nostril breathing. It's an amazing practice to do at any time in the day. The first one we did, where we inhaled through the left and exhaled through the right, it's a little more calming. And then when you inhale through the right and then exhale through the left, it's a little bit more activating, that side of the brain, the right side of the brain. And then thinking about kind of what I was saying earlier about the nostrils, and you know, some of us, like we breathe through the mouth. It's not very good for us to breathe through the mouth. You know, some of us have to. I've always had problems with my nose when I was a kid, and I broke it, and I found it really hard to kind of breathe through my nose. So then when I was going to bed at night, all the way through, you know, into adulthood, into my 40s, I always breathed through my mouth. I felt very anxious breathing through my nose when I was in bed. And it was only when I started a yoga practice that I really started breathing through my nose, and that took a little bit of time to come. But that idea of I go to bed and then I'm like, I can't get enough breath into my body through my nose because my nose feels blocked. So over time, I just did it a little bit at a time of just taping my mouth. And then I read this book called Breath by this author called James Nestor. And it's an amazing book. There's a lot of yogic philosophy in there, and he talks about breath. And I mean, that's what the book's about, right? And he tapes his mouth. And now I tape my mouth every night, and I can breathe through my nose, and I breathe through my nose. I even go for a run, I breathe through my nose now. You know, if I'm running a lot quicker, then I breathe through my mouth. But try it, honestly. A micropore tape, you can buy it anywhere. Buy it from Boots, and it's soft on the mouth, and you just put some people use a little postage stamp like that, but I tape across, so there's no gaps whatsoever. All right. So yeah, Breath by James Nestor. I really recommend the book. It's an incredible book. It's really worth it. All right, I'm going to go back onto my mat. Thank you for listening. All right, let's do 2 more things seated, and then we'll do a little bit of flow today. Okay, so settle yourself back down. Doesn't matter which shin's in front, a little bit Sufi grind. So hands on the knees, inhale the chest forward, exhale around your spine. Now pick a direction you want to go in, and then just commit to it. And don't feel like it needs to be, super deep. You don't have to kind of really bend into the elbows. You can just do this with the pelvis. You pick a direction, it's little circles. Think about how your lower spine feels. Not too much, but kind of just be aware of if you're holding tension in your lower spine, and then just move a little bit here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Just get into it. I always inhale as I come here forward, and then exhale as I come back. You can close your eyes if that feels okay. Yes, inhale, come back to center. Remember which way you're moving. Take a full exhale, and then come back the other way. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale. Nice. Now we're going to do something called butterfly pose. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Now with this one, if you feel like when the soles of the feet come together, you feel like you're rocking backwards, then you can always bring something underneath the hips. So for example, I can show you. In fact, I'll probably do it like this because it's worth it. I can bring my bolster. I can sit a little higher. I can bring my feet together, and then I'm just perching on the edge of my bolster, and I've got quite a wide triangle shape here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to begin to fold forward. So I might bring my fingertips on the floor. I'm going to let the spine round. Now, sometimes we get really anxious about rounding our spine, but just take a couple of breaths and see how it feels. It's a natural position for the spine to be in, so don't worry about it too much. Now, don't pull yourself down. Maybe hold on to the feet and just let the spine round and just breathe it out here. It might not feel super comfortable as you come into it, but let everything relax. Let the head drop. And then breathe deeply into your hips, the lower spine, the shoulders. So this is where you really need to use your breath. Now in yin yoga, we would hold this pose for a lot longer, maybe 3 minutes. But right now, we're just going to take 2 more rounds of breath. And very gently press into your hands, and then come all the way up, and then bring the knees together. And then just hug the knees in and let the head drop. Just breathe it out here. When you're ready, you can just lift your head up. Nice. And then if you are on something like I was, just shuffle off it, remove it off to one side, and then we're going to come on to all fours. Lovely work, everyone. Really nice. Give the legs a good stretch back. So maybe press into the right toes and just rock backwards and forwards. Do a little gardening on your mat. There's always something on my mat. I should vacuum more. It's not interesting vacuuming though, is it? I've already done some today. All right, maybe the left leg goes back. I've got this carpet and it's like, is it sisal? And it's lovely. It's got this really lovely texture. It's a natural fibre, but number one, it stains really easily. So I've got loads of stains on it. And number two, it really has a thick weave in it, so things get stuck in it. It's so terrible, you know, everyone, being so middle class. All right, everyone, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Set yourself up in all fours. Take an inhale, drop your belly down. Lift your head, lift your heart, and then exhale round your spine. Inhale, dropping the belly down, lift your head, lift your heart. Exhale round your spine. So just move like this for a few breaths, a few rounds, always inhaling forward. Spine is long, head lifts, always exhaling round in the spine. One of my favorite poses, like a wave-like movement. Couple more rounds. Inhale forward, exhale really round this back, push into the shoulders. Beautiful. As you inhale, come back to center, split the knees wide, and then just fall back into a nice gentle child's pose. Let your forehead come down to the floor. Remember, you can always do this. Just bring your head onto your hands, or you can always make a pillow with your fists. Whatever feels good. Don't feel like you've got to be still. You can again just wriggle into this and just see how it feels. Remember, if the knees are playing up, then place a blanket underneath the knees. You can always do this lying on your back and hugging the knees in towards your chest. So the knees are pretty wide, you hug the knees in, and that can feel really good. If it feels too much coming down onto your front, which it can do sometimes or all the time, that's okay. You just find different versions of the pose. Take one more round of breath. And then when you're ready, stretch your hands forward like mine if they're not there. Bring yourself back to all fours. And then we're going to come into downward facing dog. First time in the class today, a little bit of flow from here. So downward facing dog, big bend in the knees. I'm going to do a little TikTok video about this soon. And we'll have a look at the alignment of downward facing dog. When you're ready, bend your knees and hinge your hips and look between your hands, and then gently step to the top of your mat. Doing as many steps as feels good. Go really wide at the feet, and then maybe you bring the hands onto the upper thighs, and then you can just kind of coax yourself by jiggling around, moving about. You're going to come into a standing forward fold, but one that's right for you. Yeah, you might stay really high. That's okay. You might bend the knees loads and kind of just let the chest drape down. That's okay as well. Whatever feels good for you, kind of bring it in. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect shape. Perfectionism is not a great thing, right? Drives you crazy. So let it be right for you. From here, just root down into the feet, and then we're going to sweep the arms high and wide. We're going to come and stand for the first time. It feels good, right? Hands above the head. Exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. Nice. Bring your feet a little closer together if you are lying wide like me. And then from here, we're just going to do 2 rounds of sun salutation A. So this is the one we do the most of, and probably one you're most familiar with. So every movement has a breath. Take your time. We'll do this first one really slowly. Let's see how slow we can go. We'll take more than one breath. So take an inhale, sweep the arms up. And what I meant to say, we'll take more than one breath in each version of the poses. Exhale, forward fold. More than one breath in the whole round. Inhale just to come up halfway. Remember, we were talking about this the other week. If you bend your knees like this, you can really lengthen your spine. You know, if you do it this way, it's quite hard to get the spine long. Roll the shoulders back. Lovely. Exhale, hands are down. Step one foot back, then the other. Do it nice and gently. And then have a look at your feet. Take a nice deep inhale. Just lengthen into your plank. Remember, if this feels too strong, do this. Bring the knees down. Where you can stay here in high plank. Take another round of breath. So nice deep inhale. Take a full exhale. Let's all drop our knees, but lower down really slowly. Challenge yourself to come down onto your belly as slowly as you can. Then soften the tops of the feet to you. Take an inhale. Come into cobra. As you exhale, bring the forehead down. Let's do an adaptive cobra. So bring the hands nice and wide. Bend into the elbows so the hands are off your mat. Inhale. And then just come into this adaptive cobra. Not too far up. Always be mindful of your spine. Exhale. Bring the forehead down. Do that one more time. Inhale to come up. Press into the tops of the feet. Support your back. Exhale. Bring the hands down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And then inhale. Bring yourself back to all fours. As you exhale, lift your hips and come into downward facing dog. Remember, bend the knees. Lift the hips high. Lengthen the spine is the most important thing. Head is loose. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, step to the top of your mat. One foot, then the other. Inhale to lengthen, come up halfway. Exhale, hinge and fold. And then you really root down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, frame your hands to your heart. Nice. Really lovely. All right, let's do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down. Step one foot back, then the other. Inhale to find, lengthen your plank. And then exhale to lower. Let's all drop our knees and lower nice and slowly to the floor. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, forehead down. Bring the hands wider, bend into the elbow. Be right up onto the fingertips. Inhale into adaptive cobra. Exhale, forehead down. Press into the tops of the feet one more time. Inhale into adaptive cobra. Exhale, forehead down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push the mat firmly away. This time straight into downward facing dog. Breathe. Maybe step the feet in just a little bit to lift the hips higher. Take one more round of breath. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then step to the top of your mat. When you arrive, inhale to re-lengthen your spine, and then exhale to fold. Root down through the feet, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lovely. And then just pause, hands at your heart, maybe separate the feet a little wider, and find yourself in your Tadasana. This is your mountain pose. Beautiful. All right, let's do a little bit of work into our shoulders, but we'll do it within some flow. So when you're ready, inhale, bring the arms all the way back up. As you exhale, hinge and fold, come all the way down. And then this time, you can step the right foot back. So a nice big step with the right foot. Now keep the right leg lifted if you can. If not, soften the right knee down to the floor. Bring the right hand spread out through the fingers down onto the mat. And then with the left arm, inhale, twist to the left. Think about what the right leg's doing. Really lengthen it. Engage the kneecap and the thigh. And then this left hand or the left arm, you're going to begin to spiral it out. So draw circles with the arm. Pick a direction. Keep breathing. This is going to require a little bit of breath to really breathe into it. Come back the other way. You can always have a look at the hand as well. Just make sure you're protecting your neck. Nice. Inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, bring it down, and step back into downward facing dog. Breathe it out here. Nice deep inhale. Take a full exhale. What we're going to do here, we're going to step our left foot to the top of our mat. So you can do this in more than one movement. Don't feel like you've got to just step it through. Take an inhale, lift the left leg, And then as you exhale, bring the left knee towards the nose, and then see if you can just step the foot forward. Now you might just grab the leg or the ankle and then bump it forward, soften the right knee down, and then inhale, come into your low lunge. Nice and slowly sink the hips down. See how this feels. Have a little play around. And then we'll do a little twist. So when you're ready, inhale, find some length through the arms. As you exhale, twist over towards the left. Open the palms towards the left-hand side. If you feel okay, maybe look down the left hand. You're looking backwards. Maybe look forwards. Maybe just move the head like that, just very gently. Take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. As you exhale, bring the hands down and step back into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, left foot meets the right. Take an extra breath here. Nice. Nice, deep, rich inhale. Take a full exhale. And when you're ready, bend your knees, hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then step to the top of your mat in as many steps as feels good for you. Inhale to re-lengthen your spine. Exhale to hinge and fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Nice. Let's do the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Final time we're going to do this. Exhale, hinge and fold. Stay with your breath. Nice big step back with the left leg this time. Maybe walk the right foot a little wider. You know where you're going to go. Left hand down onto the mat. Spread out through the fingers. Firm up through this left leg. And then right arm, sweep it all the way up. Into this side lunge. Nice. And then just move the arm. And then find this rotation through the shoulder. See how that feels. Maybe come back the other way. It doesn't have to be like a big fluid movement. Don't push beyond anything. See how it's going on. Inhale, the right arm up. Nice. Exhale, bring the hand down and then step back into downward facing dog. Final time we're going to do this. Final time in downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Take a full exhale. Nice. Inhale, sweep the right leg back. As you exhale, step the right foot through. Remember, if it gets to about here, just bump it up. Drop the left knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. You're in low lunge. You're settling in. See what it feels like. Don't be shy to have a little wriggle around. Nice. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, open the arms to the right. So towards the bent knee. Beautiful. Keep a nice generous bend in the knee. Maybe look down the back arm. Maybe look up the front arm. Whatever feels good. You'll feel it in this right shoulder, right? This is the one that kind of pulls. So just breathe into this space. If it means that the arm's got to come forward or you drop it down a little, that's all right. You know, find resistance, but not too much, not too little. Reasonable effort. Deep inhale. Pull full exhale. Nice. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, bring the hands down. And then we're just going to step that right leg back to meet the left. Split the knees wide. And come into your second child's pose. Settle down, maybe snap the head. Maybe bring the head all the way down to the floor. And just let it go. Breathe. Let everything settle down. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back towards your knees, push into your hands, roll all the way up. Really beautiful work today, everyone. Let's come down onto our back. So just flip the legs over to one side, bring the legs out in front, come to lie down on your back. Really nice thing to do here is hug the knees in. Just rock around a little from side to side. And then we're going to come into Shavasana from here. You can always bring the legs down and just drop the knees a little from side to side. Kind of just twist in a little. Find any final movements that feel good. And then eventually bring the legs nice and long. Bring the palms so they're face up. And just settle in, just a couple of minutes. See if you can drop into a stillness and let all the amazing work you've done today, let it all integrate. Commit to this. Try not to leave the class now. If you leave now, then sometimes we can feel a little more tense than when we arrived. And then from here, just very gently, slowly, bring some movements back in. Maybe start with the breath and then your fingers and your toes and your ankles and your wrists. You might have a big yawn in the body. You might stretch the arms all the way up. You might want to bend the knees back in towards your belly. Lovely. And we'll come back to a seated position. So you might roll to one side, or you can push up or roll up, come back to seated. Really, really amazing work today, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. And just notice the effects of your practice. I mean, ultimately, thank yourself for showing up, for getting onto your mat and for practicing. That's where the magic really happens. That's where your commitment to your practice really serves you well. With a wholehearted bow, just wish yourself well, wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Thank you for coming along today. Remember what I said at the start. Follow the Virtual Village Hall on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook if you're not doing that. All the content's going to be there. And have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you all next week. Any questions, any queries, any comments, stick it in the chat bar on Facebook. And be happy to answer anything. All right. Look after yourselves, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.